Sorry, 1 second everyone. We're having some technical issues with today's waifu. Elbe, no, that's too many. Sorry about that. Now where were we? Oh yeah, intro. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be looking at a klutzy tsundere with a masochistic side. Yep, you heard that right. Today's waifu is gonna make you think that she doesn't care about you while tripping over her own 2 feet. Let me introduce you to Elbe. Elbe is from the series Azur Lane. If you've ever wondered what it would be like to combine waifus and warships, then ladies and gentlemen, I think we found your series. Elbe is a light cruiser from the Ironblood faction. She was first introduced in the Tower of Transcendence game event. Elbe can best be described as a clumsy, masochistic tsundere, with her sole goal in life being making yours as difficult as possible. The Elbe figure that we're looking at today is based off of her Time to Show Off skin. The skin was illustrated by the artist Neko Metro and was the first extra skin for the character. The figure was manufactured by 1000 Manufacturing and produced by Alice Clint Productions. She is a 1/7 scale figure with a height of 160 millimeters. The figure was announced back in February of 2024 and later released in July of 2025. There isn't much to say about the box. It's just a depiction of the Elbe figure. I will say though, it is very sturdy. If there's one nice touch that they added to the box, it would be the Ironblood insignia on the lid. I should point out, if you did order the limited edition and you hear something rattling inside the box, it may just be the extra faceplate. I know mine was rattling in there. Thankfully, they provide us with a manual. It shows us how to properly switch her faceplates and fit her on her base, plus fitting both her hands. One thing I should point out, all fitments are pretty tight, so be careful. Later on you can see me struggling with them. Here we have her checkered base. It's acrylic and it's clean, so I can't complain. As you're about to see, I start having trouble getting the pegs in. Be right back. And I'm back. So yeah, battery died. Sadly, I was focused too much on setting her up, and by the time I realized she was set up and there was no footage. Let me know in the comments if you guys would have rather me have taken her apart and refilmed it. I don't know, it makes me feel like it takes away from the quote-unquote unboxing experience. Without any further ado, here she is in all her greatness. I gotta say, I really love how she turned out. Now, let's get into the review. Considering the complexity of the figure, they did a great job. The figure doesn't suffer from any underspraying issues, but however, it does suffer from a bit of overspraying on the smaller parts, specifically on the chainmail on her skirt. Though it isn't perfect, unless you look very closely at the figure, you won't be able to notice it. Honestly, that's the only negative I can find on the paintwork. They did an amazing job on her face, showing subtle nuances such as the sweat on her cheek, showing how nervous she is. I also love the attention to detail they had implementing pink shading on her arms and legs, and other assets. They stay faithful to the illustration by Nekomataro. The way her skirt lifts along her left thigh makes it look like she's dropping down to catch the drinks, which have been sculpted perfectly to represent the disaster that's occurring in the illustration. Her hair also helps with this visual as it looks like it's lifting upwards. Up till now, this figure checked all my boxes, but here is where she falls short. Like I mentioned, her chainmail has some overspray, which I can overlook, but sadly, if you take a closer look at her hair, you can find countless issues, mostly caused by the mold used, but which could have easily been fixed in production with a bit of sanding. You can also see some bubbling in the paint for her hair. Doing some research online, I found that some users had issues with the arm pegs. Specifically, they found them too tight, and some went so far as to even break the ribbons on her hand to get them in. There have also been reports of paint rub on her head due to the blister rubbing. Though it does have these issues, the figure does get some things right. The foot pegs fit snugly with no gaps between her shoes and the pegs. The way her skirt is positioned in the back will save this figure from leaning in time. Because most of her defects are found in the back where you won't see once you display her, her score in this department is much higher than if they would have been in the front. Can we complain about the base? Not really. It's better than getting a plain black one. With Elbe, we get a checkered base that gives the figure a bit of elegance. Though I would be lying if I said that it wasn't lacking, especially if you compared it to the original illustration. It would have been nice to have gotten the countertops from the background of the illustration. If you get the limited edition, you'll get two faceplates. One for her normal, surprised expression, and then an embarrassed face. And now, for a more cultured audience. I'd like to start this off by saying these are all unofficial cast-offs, so the risk is in your hands. So for those of us that want to display her in a different way, I found that her skirt is also removable. Disclaimer, I did see online that some had issues putting her back together after removing the skirt. If you're a believer in freeing the biddies, then I've got some news for you. Her chest piece can also be altered. Having gone around and asked some of the owners who have posted her with her top down, they mentioned that you needed to be very gentle with the chest piece. One thing that I'd like to mention is the fact that even though you can slide her chest piece down, you can't fully remove it. Only way to do that would be cutting it, which at that point would be a permanent cast off. Honestly, unless you're dead set in displaying her in the NSFW route, I honestly would not even mess with it. But end of the day, it's up to you. It's your money, it's your figure. With the base price of the figure being 22,600 yen and 23,100 for the limited, it sits at that median for a 1/7 scale. Though there are examples with more impressive bases / accessories, they aren't as detailed as this figure. And then you have your figures with simpler designs and a plain base for more than 24,000 yen. Overall, I would say get her, especially if you're a fan of the series or just the character in general. The goth bar maiden look makes her very appealing, at the very least to me. No, you have a type. The manufacturer did a great job with the details of the figure, so I would not bat an eye if you can get her at a reasonable price. Well, ladies and gents, here we are. Final verdict. Overall, I would give her a B. Though she isn't a figure that will blow your mind, she is great in her category, especially smiles per dollar. The figure does come with some issues, but most of the paintwork and sculpting make up for it. Like I already said, if you're a fan of the character or the series, get her. You won't be disappointed. Just do me a favor, don't sell one of your kidneys for her. At the time of recording, it looks like the price for her limited version is going up. Well, that's a wrap on the Elbe review. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Please like and subscribe, and you're more than welcome to leave any productive comments on the comment section below.